Right back to normal here. Blair and Barker back in our studio, taking over, making us feel rushed when we start.
The best part, though, is Barker immediately saying, good luck following that every time we see him.
I think he's hilarious. Welcome in. It's the Real Kyper Bourne Show, Season 5. Jake the Snake Schultz, Derek Brandeo upstairs pushing all the right buttons. Nick Kypreos, Justin Bourne, and our very own Sammy McKee. We are live on Sportsnet 360, 590 The Fan in Toronto, streaming always on Sportsnet Plus. Also available Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube. Toronto Maple Leafs.
How's the weekend, boys?
How's the weekend? The Toronto Maple Leafs, unfortunately, losers of both games. We did the Friday night, Carolina.
Unfortunately.
We have just one more game to go.
But the highest stakes game of the year, we get the Ducks, the Gudis revenge game.
The revenge game. Something I think our Sammy was looking towards on the weekend against Ottawa as well. A little revenge over their captain, Brady Tkachuk, taking runs at the Leafs leadership group for not responding.
They sure showed them, Sammy.
So,
hey,
Sammy,
what do you think?
What do you want me to say?
Are you?
No, they did nothing.
They did nothing.
Stunk it up as usual.
And
they did nothing.
You made it abundantly clear going into the weekend. You would have liked to seen some response.
Yeah, guess what? I'm an idiot. They don't,
No, you're our idiot.
Yeah.
they just never do. If there's the thing I've learned that if I want them to do something, and the fan base wants them to do something, they'll likely do the opposite. Although they did lose twice,
Like
so
having kids.
that was good. I wanted to ask you guys a question because big news of the day here in Toronto. My beloved Blue Jays extended Ross Atkins and their manager, John Schneider.
Yep.
I think Ross got a 5-year contract extension. I believe a 2-year contract extension or a 3-year contract extension for the skipper, John Schneider.
Yep.
So I think it's an interesting conversation about perception and PR because if you had have announced this extension for these two gentlemen literally a year ago today.
Actually, yeah, probably even a month into the season.
I can't imagine a more unpopular potential decision that you could make, okay? So I just want you to help me sleep at night and say that there's no thought from potentially Keith Pelly or people that are making decisions for the Leafs where they say, hey, 2024 for the Blue Jays was a down year. They were crappy. They didn't make the playoffs. And you know what they did? They had stability. They had, they kept the same people around. And they bounce back in 2026 or 2025 like they did last year, going all the way to Game 7 of the World Series. There's no way where they look at it, they're like, we can be like the Jays and be stable, and we'll be good again next year, right?
Yeah.
Like, is that a thought that would cross their mind?
Yes.
Sure.
Yeah. No, I'm not saying that for the decision makers, and we assume that's Keith Pelly and ownership, you have to run every case scenario. And there has to be a thought of the pros and cons of doing that. And you're not doing your job unless you've flushed everything out. So you asked me if there's a thought out there.
Yeah.
There is a thought, and there should be a thought to it. There should be a complete exercise from top to bottom on the pros and cons of either letting them go or keeping them. And I assume that's happening.
Yes. I think you want to know what are the likelihood that this happens?
Yeah, because I think there's something to be said for the stability that the Jays have had over these years, where through thick and thin, there's been a lot of calls for a lot of jobs, and they haven't done anything. And I think having the president in Shapiro is much like having the president in Brendan Shanahan, where you have a face of the top sort of thing.
No, Shapiro's more like a CEO than a president.
But at least there's a pecking order that you can see in front of you.
Correct.
But as opposed to Treliving and Pelly and then whoever else.
The one thing I think that you would point to if you're a Jays fan is that from the beginning, they have seemed to have a plan, a mandate, a way they like to work. They're fairly analytically driven. They have a process they like, and they have wanted the time to see that plan through. I think it would be harder to say that the current structure for the Leafs has a vision.
Agreed.
So that might divide the two thoughts.
Here's the other thing that they have to consider, and everybody has to consider, is that as brilliant as Shapiro and Ross look today, there is that part of the equation that they just got out. They had a chance to like spend their way out of trouble.
Totally.
And
But you still got to do it right. The Leafs said that.
No, 100%. But it is a big part of the equation, meaning that even if you were wrong, there's ways to get out of it. There's ways to trade it away. There's bury it in the minors, whatever.
Yeah.
Hockey doesn't allow that. Like there's no chance that Brad gets the same freedom as Shapiro did with taking their salaries up to, I don't know what it is now, 280.
Yeah, it's in the top 5 in the league.
Top 5 in the
That
league.
is coming though.
And
Yeah,
and
it is coming
to
hot.
some extent.
Yeah.
to some extent,
Yeah,
but
there's a limit.
it makes it harder. So those decisions now allowing Brad to continue puts way more pressure on him to make sure he can get all of those decisions right instead of just saying, oh, you know what, just stroke that one off and get rid of it, and we'll go buy another guy. And listen, I'm not saying that they didn't make the right decision. Of course, the Jays, and they spent wisely, but first and foremost, they got to spend.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, no.
And how much room is there for Brad now or anyone else to come in and spend?
Well, there's lots of room. There's just nobody
There's
to
just no
decide.
players.
Right?
Yeah.
There's no one to decide.
UFA is dead.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyways, I just thought that there was an interesting cross-board parallel with some of the stuff that's happening.
You know what never comes up? Jacob Trouba's a UFA this summer, isn't he? Do I have that wrong?
Yeah, that excites you?
Well, I mean, you're the Leafs. You got a bunch of money, no defenseman, and need someone.
American.
Yeah, he is that. No, ooh, yeah, I love that. Love what you're doing there.
What's that?
You're not sure about Trouba as a
No,
culture guy.
I'd love him.
Yeah.
But
Oh, you don't think he?
I don't think he'd have interest in coming up here.
Okay. Well, that changes things for sure.
Yeah.
Anyways.
No, listen, big fan.
Mm-hmm.
I think he plays the game hard. He's an honest kid. He's I liked him.
Mm-hmm.
I've always liked him, but whether or not going from Winnipeg to New York and then down to the States, would he come back up here?
Yeah.
My guess is he won't.
Okay.
So the weekend.
Okay, hold on. Before we get into any specifics, there seems to be a narrative out there now that the official switch for the Battle of Ontario is now completely on the Ottawa Senators side, and they were kicked in the teeth for a long time, including last year in the playoffs. And it's nice for Sens fans to look at people like you, Sammy, and your Leaf Nation and give you a little bit back.
I was surprised to see that narrative because I think the Senators, for the most part, during the regular season, have played the Leafs really well. Mm-hmm. And I'm not sure what their record would be off the top. I don't have it off the top of my head, but anecdotally, I feel like they've beaten the Leafs a lot more in the regular season than they.
I believe going into last game, they were 7-7-2.
500?
Well, yeah, there was some reason you and I looked up that stat for something. I don't remember.
But didn't they sweep them last year? Going into the playoffs, there was a talk that they didn't beat them during the regular season. Like, I don't know.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. So last year, I think Sens.
Yeah. But if you just forget about the records for a second, there was always that narrative that the Leafs were the real team.
Well, they always will be. Like, they can talk about, what?
No, the
it's
Leafs.
true.
But the point here is that the Leafs have had stars and they've been winning. The Senators have been rebuilding.
Yeah. But they're still the Sens and we're still the Leafs.
Yeah,
like, they can talk about little brother, big brother, whatever the hell they want to say. Whatever keeps them, like, they're always not going to matter as much.
But
that's what it's going to come down to.
They're not.
Yeah.
But the little brother sometimes grows up and gets bigger than the big brother and beats up the big brother.
Totally.
And that might happen for a while.
There's just a lot of talk coming from 10th place in the conference. Let's just say that. Like,
they've been the best team the last month.
They're not in the playoffs.
Really good.
So it's not for
I
sure.
know.
And I'll give them credit. They are a good team. They beat the brakes off the Leafs on Saturday night.
There's some talent in that lineup.
No question. But let's just
pump the brakes. He wants us to pump the brakes on that.
Well, you beat the Leafs a ton in the regular season anyway. Like, it's nothing I'm not used to. My whole life, the Leafs have getting dominated by the Ottawa in the regular season. Like, those years with Heatley, they won every game 7-0. It's just
Yeah.
how it goes.
The weekend, to get back to what Sammy was saying, was almost very close to great, and then the Leafs rallied against the Hurricanes for a point. It just, I mean, it could cost them a really good player. We don't know how it's going to shake out in the standings, but Saturday night went according to plan. I'm fully, as you guys know now, I'm trying to see this team, the ship to the bottom 5.
But
for
there's
me,
so much easier ways to go about it for me, and that's it. Just, I'd like to see more Marlies come up.
Sure.
I'd like to see Hildeby get in the lineup, and we're going to get into that because Stolarz went down on the weekend as well, and I know there's an update on that.
Matthew Nyes played 24 minutes and had no shots on goal. Is that Saturday night?
Yeah. I mean, he's a guy that's not feeling 100% in a lost season.
It's such an easy one to
I think
it is unusual.
I think you should play him 25 minutes. That makes more sense.
If he's just not feeling right, which he's made it abundantly clear, he's not 100%,
which we don't like.
And then you go and play him 24 minutes.
Could that be a bit of a FU from the coach? Like, I know that's a stupid, insane tinfoil hat thing to say.
I don't know if it is or not.
If you're healthy, you're in the lineup, get out there.
I think you're onto something because it does bolt kind of to his earlier comments where it's he's fine.
It's fine. It's fine. You're going to play.
I don't want to hear it, basically.
I don't believe it to be true, but it is bizarre that as soon as Nyes complains, he plays the most minutes he's ever played.
There's a lot of stuff that's been happening that kind of points to your theory. Like, I mean, he's just...
For the record, this theory was constructed 7 seconds ago.
I mean, it's not a horrible theory. It just... You want to play the clip from Friday night after the game?
On Easton Cowan?
No, the one on Friday about Joseph Wall.
Okay, let's stay with goaltending.
Yeah. So... go ahead.
Played well, but, like tonight in the end, I think, I know we need a save. Like, whether it's the OT or it's one of the breakaways, we just need a big save there.
You didn't like it?
I just find it hilarious. Like, one of the breakaways we gave up.
Yeah. I mean, Kip, you watched that game as close as anyone.
He was good, but I don't disagree with Craig Berube.
Well, yeah, I think that's fine if you want one more save, but it is a penalty shot. It is a breakaway that Keandre Miller has a bunch of whatever.
Yeah.
If you don't like the Nikishin one, whatever.
No, didn't like that one either.
That's fine.
Yeah.
But he made a ton of saves, and you got outshot by $6 billion, as you consistently do. Is that where the game was lost?
No, they're no good.
Yeah,
they're no good, and I don't want to. This is not about pinning it on Joseph Wall.
Right. But fair to say.
I'd be frustrated too if I was him with the goalies, with Stolarz and Wall. Okay? And it just goes back. And we're going to get into it with Saturday night and Willie Nylander's high shot that caught him and he left. But whatever you make of it per se, it really just comes down to, can we count on you? Are you dependable? Are you reliable? And the answer is no. No.
For Joseph Wall, it's no.
No, he's proved nothing to be a big time game player up until this point. We know you're talented and we know you can sometimes win games on your own, but when we need you the most, you haven't shown
what
up.
Stinks about that is he came in Game 6 against Boston when they didn't have a guy. And
I know.
Was awesome. And he came in against Florida in the series they lost when Samsonov finally got the hook in, was excellent. But
you can't finish it. You start it, and then you cannot finish it. And then I'm watching Stolarz Saturday night, and I'm like, oh, what happened? Where are you? Where'd you go? You're where? At the hospital? Are you kidding me right now?
But Kip, I don't really know what to do with the Stolarz thing in this type of situation, because the implication that he's faking it
is
insane, right?
I don't think he's faking it. I don't.
I'm with you that he's never around.
He obviously he got hurt.
Right.
Obviously he got scared and went to the trainers or went to the doctor and said, I'm having trouble breathing. Their job is to cover themselves and make sure that we're not putting anyone's life in danger, and they take him to the hospital.
Right.
And then, I don't know, 40 minutes later, maybe the swelling goes down, you feel better. Hey, see you later.
That happened in the playoffs, too, when they lost him in round 1 against Ottawa. Or was it, against Florida.
Sam Bennett.
He went to the hospital then, too.
But sometimes these things happen to some more people than others, right?
Yes.
They just happen. And there's a pattern, there's a pattern, there's a consistency here. And I mean, enough,
protect himself
whatever it is. I don't know what it is, but it's something. Yeah. It's not nothing. There's
no doubt that some people get hurt more than others.
There that just keeps you from seeing something through. Mm-hmm. And I if I'm Craig or somebody else, I'm like, okay, I've seen enough. And I sat here well before his extension, and I told you guys I didn't really like the extension. Mm-hmm. This guy, there's something there that just constantly he's hurt or he can't see things through, and it's like you gave him a 4-year deal. It hasn't even kicked in, guys. Hasn't kicked in.
We're watching the overhead,
right?
Catching in the neck.
And I'm like, I don't know what happened there. So people are all over Willie because he shot one high, which I've shot high in warm-up. We've all had one thing that kind of got away. And I watched it, and the Hockey Night in Canada, our guys gave us one angle there that was quick. It wasn't crazy high. Mm-hmm. It wasn't nuts. It was a wrist shot. Yeah. It was out there. I don't know what happened. Did he take his eye off the puck? I still don't know how that shot could catch him flush in the neck. So I have no idea.
He's not bearing down.
Is it the equipment? Is something wrong with your mask? But I don't know. I don't know how he got hit in the throat. With today's technology and the ability to cover your face and your neck, so I don't know.
What are you saying?
He's saying that everyone shoots high once in a while. One got away from him a little bit. That Stolarz managed to get hurt out of that is once again shocking.
It's crazy. Like it didn't even hit him in the head.
Hit him in the throat.
Which is crossbar.
Willie...
Right?
Willie said, I shoot high every warm-up. He says, he's been in the league for however long.
We have audio from everybody.
Do we have Willie?
We do have Willie.
Great.
I think, maybe I didn't put it on the lineup, but I think I put it in there. Is there a Willie clip in there, Derek?
Yeah, obviously it's, really tough to see that happen. I mean, I always come in and shoot puck in the glove, and this one just came off a little bit, to the left, and it hit him in the neck. So, I was obviously worried for him, but... I've been texting with him, so he seems to be okay. So
is it the equivalent to a center fielder taking his eye off the ball at the last second? And I don't know.
It's just like, I think if you watch an NHL warm-up.
Shove a head-high wrister at his throat.
No, listen.
From 75 feet out.
You played hockey your whole life. You come in there, you rip him on the pads, you flip him in there. He ripped the puck.
He didn't rip it.
He did.
Go look at the shot. You see that shot 1,000 times in warm-up.
So, I'm not saying that Stolarz isn't, look at that. It's a rip at his head.
I'm with Kevin.
Oh, my God, Sammy, please.
That's from distance.
Sammy, listen, I appreciate you right now, but you've never been in a warm-up in your life at the NHL level.
No.
Please.
But, obviously I haven't.
It's not a rip.
I would say.
Please play it one more time.
The bulk of go watch an NHL warm-up and the amount of shot. It's not like every puck is, wasting down. Guys are trying to work on their shot.
You heard him. He shoots high. He wants him to catch the puck and feel it.
Came off a bit left.
It's bizarre.
I'm not going to blame Stolarz.
Here it is.
Top of the circle.
Top of the circle. It's a wrist shot. It can't be much more than 70 miles an hour, 65 miles an hour. Okay? It's freaky. It's a freak accident.
No, I'm with you on this. And I know people are burying Willie about it, but
Yeah, and I'm not burying Willie about it. I'm not.
Okay.
And I'm not. I don't know. I don't know what happened to Stolarz that he's done 1,000 of those warm-ups, and that one, like, were you kind of, I don't know, lackadaisical? Was your focus there? I don't know the answer. I'm asking questions, and I'm not implying anything. But
Well, it feels like you're implying something.
I'm implying that
Stolarz gets hurt a lot.
something went drastically
For
wrong,
sure.
and it keeps happening to you too.
I think
So-
I think two things can be true here, Kipper. There is a trend with Stolarz. There's no question that if that happens to, I don't know, pick a goalie, Vasilevsky, and then he goes and he keeps playing. Okay, I think that's true, and I think you're right about that. I also think you shouldn't be shooting at your guy's head in warm up. That's
Of course, you shouldn't be shooting it.
and it's a mistake, but like I don't know, it's just he also did it to Garrett Sparks at practice in 2019. Like I just think ripping it high at a goalie's head in practice. Like Kipper said, I've never been in an NHL warm up, so maybe I don't know about these things. But maybe shooting another puck at a guy's throat in warm up isn't the best course of action.
Let's get Craig Berube today. Did he comment today on Stolarz? Let's have a listen.
Clip 5.
Clip 5 on
Yeah,
it.
he's fine. He's good to go. Yeah. No, I haven't yet, but it's good that he's okay.
There you go. There's your update.
All right.
Stolarz, you want to hear his clip on it?
Sure.
I don't. Yeah.
No, I'm fine. It was just shot that came up high and just kind of stung, and it just kind of lost my wind there for a second. And, there was a little swelling and whatnot, so just more of a precautionary thing. So, their medical staff felt it was, just kind of necessary to go through the proper steps. And, like I said, I felt better yesterday, and then obviously good enough today to practice.
All right. I got nothing else on this.
See, I tell Stolarz with 10 games to go, like, take the rest of the year off.
You need some time to heal your team tank now. That's all that is.
To your point,
Yeah.
don't need you to steal any more games for us.
Yeah. It's been a weird year for Stolarz, right? Like his numbers haven't been good. You see there's some games lately where he's looked like himself. And in fact, I thought he had found it a little bit. He's been looking better in his starts, but it always does.
Him looking better and good, never been a problem.
Right. Just availability.
Right? Just availability. That's it.
Either way, so now we've got Berube who's called out Joseph Woll for goaltending in a game where, of all the things to criticize, I didn't think was any worse than, half the games you lose. And then he kind of gave it to Cowan a little bit, right? Cowan had come out after the game and said,
Do we have that
once
one?
you give up the first goal, you get deflated.
we have
Let's listen to Cowan.
We have Cowan. Clip 1.
Yeah, I thought we started off pretty strong. Got on the kill, they scored, and then I feel like it deflated us a bit.
Okay.
It deflated us a bit. And now let's listen to his coach, clip 3, if we could.
I don't know why they would be deflated after we gave up, as a power play goal. We broke a stick. We're trying to get a stick. They scored a goal, but big deal. We played a good first period. I don't know. I don't understand that thought process that you don't follow it up and be ready to go in the second and know that they're going to make a push and, we don't respond well enough. So I don't really understand this deflated stuff, to be honest with you. I think it's a cop-out.
We do not agree.
So, where has this been from Berube over his 2 years here? From day one, we thought this is the guy you'd get, who'd be like the hard-nosed,
Yeah, I know. This is
no BS.
For me, this is just Berube just at the end of his rope kind of feel.
Yeah.
Right? For the season. And I certainly don't agree with him shutting down a rookie like Easton Cowan like that through the media. To me, that can't happen. He's barely 20 years old, rookie. Okay, he said, deflated. Okay, He's been in the league 5 minutes. Don't worry about him saying deflated, and don't listen. All that does for Easton Cowan is it makes him scared to say something else now in the media. You know, and to me, what you need to do first of all is somehow, and again, I'll this is a PR thing too, right? This is this is another example of disconnect.
Mm-hmm.
This is somebody's got to tip off Craig Berube and say, you might get asked about a comment that Easton Cowan said about deflated. And to me, it doesn't help Easton. It doesn't help Craig. It doesn't help the team that you're now accusing Easton of a cop-out comment. It's not a building block moment for sure.
Though, if this stuff had been happening going back to the start of his tenure here, where it was like, we're not making excuses. We are the organization that does not make excuses. It's a different vibe. Going into the game, you know that post-game you're not going to be able to lean on any crutches, whatever. Now it feels too late, and it feels to me like a guy who's like, I'm done holding my tongue in Berube. Done holding my tongue. I feel like I'm on the hot seat here, saying what I want the rest of the way.
I shouldn't be here to be saying these things.
But you still have
just the inactivity of the front office has led to this toxicity now, where he's calling out his goalie when they get 21 high danger chances against them and 4 goals go in the net. He's calling out his goalie on that night. He's calling out his 18-year-old rookie for an off comment that he makes. It's all toxic. He's clearly pissed. The team sucks. And you've just let it get to this point where he just feels the need to have to say these things.
Yeah.
It's just gotten rotten. And it's because you probably didn't let him go soon enough. Frankly, I know that's tough to say, but it's not pretty.
It's gotten rotten is actually a really succinct way of summing up this year.
Yes.
It's just everything has a bit of a rot.
Yeah. And like I said, Easton's a 20-year-old kid, and it's if you had a little bit of heads up or you thought about your comments, you would have said, "Listen, I don't want him to feel deflated. You shouldn't feel deflated. That's not what we were trying to do here." And I'll certainly have a talk about him or talk with him, and we'll work on that. But listen, it's a 60-minute game, and one goal shouldn't make anybody feel deflated.
Mm-hmm.
But there's ways to go about. But you can tell he's really
the best player on Saturday.
at a frustrated time in his coaching career
and he is
right
looking
now.
better at Cowan.
Yeah,
Cowan's
he's
looking.
He had 2 points, scored a goal, set up another one beautifully.
You don't want to make him feel like I got to really walk on eggshells now from here on in, and that's unfortunately how you can feel if your coach is calling your comments a cop out.
Yeah. So just seeing James Myrtle just tweeted that the Leafs' current 5 wins in 23-game stretch is about as bad as it gets. They'd only done this 4 times in the last 30 years that they've had a run like this. So
2014, 2015.
Yep, 15, 16 as well. 11 and 12 was the 18-wheeler Cliff year.
15, 16 they did this?
Yeah, that was the tank year. So it was Horacek and then the tank year.
Oh,
15,
right.
16.
My bad.
Do you want to get his comments on what he's trying to preach down the stretch here?
Sure.
Clip 4.
Oh, I think sounds like
we don't have it?
We're in a fight with the audio machine.
Did I do something?
Clip.
Maybe we can't play any clips.
What he's trying to preach down the stretch. Yep, clip 4.
Ruby, clip 4.
Yeah, no, for sure. Communication doesn't change with me. I'm constantly, I'm going to keep communicating the same way, and I'm going to demand the same as I did all year. I mean, like I said, the lineup is different for sure, and there's guys, young guys coming up from the minors playing, and we're looking to see what they can do and accomplish. But at the same time, it's all about playing as a team, being highly competitive, and playing hard. I mean, the X's and O's are the X's and O's, but it's about showing up every night and competing at a high level. That's what's important for me. Yes, there's mistakes and things that happen in the game, but where's your compete level? Where are you playing for the crest on the front of the jersey? That's what matters to me.
I think
I like it.
Yeah,
I like it.
It's noteworthy though that he always notes, as I've been preaching all year. He's like,
You're right.
I have not been getting this. I've been saying the same thing to these guys.
Yeah, but he's not getting anything anymore. I mean, they have 14
Well,
shots
he's getting something out of Bo Grew.
Yeah.
But go call 2 more of them up. I guarantee you they will be hungry. Yeah. The one thing I can tell you about Bo is he's a 26-year-old who's playing like his career's at a fork in the road.
He's playing just like he should.
And he is hungry. Okay? He's hungry. And I need more guys like that right now.
I looked into this weekend, talking to some people around Marlies. Who's next? Who should get a shot? Who's whatever? It's pretty thin, right? You look at the years of their prospect rankings.
I don't know if you remember.
I got a couple, but
there was this pit bull I'm watching in preseason. I mentioned his name, that Landon Sim.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember?
Yeah, I know.
Not a big guy.
I played with John.
Do you remember?
Yeah.
Do you remember us doing an exhibition game going, I like that guy. He may not be ready, but I like him.
Yeah.
I don't know. He got into some injury issues. I think he was sent to the coast for a little while. I think he's back up, but put him in for 5 games. I guarantee you he'll piss somebody off. He'll irritate somebody. Yeah. He'll get into a fight. He's not the biggest guy in the world, but
he's the opposite of the biggest guy in the world.
Okay.
He's 5'11", he's 187.
I know.
21 years old.
But he plays like he's 6'5".
Yeah, and he's fighting in the minors. I would love to do it, but they're just not going to do it.
I don't want a goon. I don't want a guy who just, drops his gloves. And I just want somebody to go and annoy somebody.
Yeah.
Get under their skin. Piss them off.
The Leafs have such an incredible chance this week looking at the reverse standings. Mm-hmm. And
this is a massive week. We cannot set that stage.
That's what I mean.
They play the Rangers and the Blues, and you lose those 2 games.
It's back-to-back.
Boston tomorrow night.
You're in a good spot.
In Boston, where the Leafs have had so much success over the years, so it should be fine there. And then
they're definitely winning tomorrow.
Then back home for the Rangers, and then Saturday night against St. Louis Blues, who's also behind you in this game. If you were like a normal thinking, sort of future forward thinking organization, Actiamall is playing on Wednesday night. You're bringing up Villanov. You're bringing up Sim.
I'm okay with that.
But they're not going to do it because they haven't. We're still going to play as hard as we possibly can, and
they should play hard.
No, play hard, but
they're not going to. They don't play hard
with those guys.
Play with those guys.
They played 2 hard games, period. And after the Ducks thing, and now it's anyways.
Marley's got kid Ryan Tverberg. He's in his 3rd year there. He's someone that they could give a little look to. I know that Luke Hames is he's playing really well right now, but they kind of want to keep him going in the American League. On D, it's pretty thin. You got Thrun. Maybe next year you got Chadwick or the year after, but it's pretty thin. There's not a whole lot of hey, Villanova is ready from what I know. So yeah, get Landon Sim, bring me to Verberg.
You just got 2 games you got to lose this week. You absolutely have to lose them. Hey, let's check out Tankathon. The Leafs have moved up a spot.
We want to do it after the break?
I got something else for you after the break.
Do you?
Oh, yeah. A new manifesto.
I got just a little something that
I will put Sammy's manifesto's coming back.
This is actually a major feature of the show that we should get sponsored.
It's not I wouldn't say it's as passionate as the last one.
That's
but
okay.
It's more of a
I can't wait to hear it.
It's an interesting one.
All right.
It's going to steal my will.
You want to go to the standings and then break?
I'm hitting this. I just hit the Sim lottery for the first time here. San Jose has jumped up into the number 1 spot. Florida jumps into the 2nd spot. Vancouver, Chicago, New York Rangers, Calgary, all the way down to 6th. And the 8th pick goes to the Boston Bruins for the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Oh, I'll Sim one.
That's what I just hit down. What do you got?
Seattle, Vancouver, Chicago.
What do you got? You don't have it.
I don't know. No, I haven't got it ready.
Let's go.
I've forgotten about it. Do you want to do standings? Or you just did it?
I just did my tank.
Okay.
Yep.
All right, let's take a quick break. When we return, Sammy's manifesto. Can't wait. When was the last time we did this? About a month ago? 6 weeks ago?
No, it was after the.
Which one was it?
It was after the weekend. Well, it's included in this. We'll go.
All right.
Don't want to miss that when we return. Real Kyper and Bourne. Welcome back to the program. Nick Kypreos, Justin Bourne, Sammy McKee. We tee up. Have we got this sponsored?
Developing story first before we get into that. The Sportsnet YouTube team has changed the music.
And do we like the new music?
It's very similar to the old music. It's very...
Are we talking on our YouTube channel?
Yeah, like our waiting music, like between our breaks. It's like.
Have we had any positive feedback?
Guitar riff.
This is, I think, the first day of the new music, so I haven't got any DMs about it, but I'll surely get 3 to 4 DMs tonight about the music.
All right, Shirley.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
pull out the Hilroy.
So let's just have a recap on, you like to watch the games. You do your Leaf talk with JD after the games.
Yeah.
And you write all this down while you're watching the game.
But I used to take game notes, but the last 2 weeks I can barely watch, so I don't really take I don't take a ton of notes. But this was more just, I was kind of thinking about it when I woke up today and starting to do the prep for the show and all the different stuff that's happened this season. And for example, Bill Simmons has this saying called the season from hell, like when a team is just supposed to be good and everything goes wrong. And it's like the season from hell rankings or whatever. And I think this could be constituted as a season from hell for the Toronto Maple Leafs. And I just wrote down a few events that have happened over this season. And I could kind of go through them.
Okay.
Do you guys want to start on September 20th of 2025?
Perfect place to start.
When Leafs PR puts out a tweet that Joseph Wall, parentheses, illness.
Day to day.
First game, November 15th. So it was a little longer than day to day.
But that was
that's how they
family
announced
emergency is how they started it.
And then it changed. And then, So first game, his day-to-day illness was November 15th. October 19th, 2025. Stolarz calls out the team. And even though we're 6 games into the season, enough's enough. In this game, Mason Marchment ran him over. And Carlos stood there and stared at it.
Ooh, that would become a theme.
Remember that?
Yes, I do.
That feels like a long time ago. October 29th, 2025. Johnny Tavares reaches the amazing 500-goal plateau.
In a 6-1
In a
loss.
6-3 blowout to the Columbus Blue Jackets where nobody could celebrate it.
No one celebrated it.
That one was, I felt bad for JT
That
there.
stunk. He deserved it.
Yeah, I mean, a 500 goal.
He moped to the bench after
Poor
his
guy.
foul.
Yeah, you know, there
Poor
should be
guy.
some retroactives. Like having your birthday on Christmas or something.
Shout out my buddy Mike Snyder. His birthday's Christmas.
That's when you know you're having a bad year.
Yeah, that's tough.
All right. Ready for the next one?
Yeah.
November 11th, 2025. Stolarz allows 3 goals on 11 shots. He gets lifted. Berube alludes to it not being that serious of an injury after the game. The next game he would play is January 23rd.
Not that serious. You, Sam.
Okay. December 22nd. Leafs fire Mark Savard 3 days before Christmas with the power play clicking at 13.3%, leading to an 8-game point streak that may cost them a top 5 pick.
Ugh. Seemed good at the time.
Have we had enough?
Not even close.
There is so much. We're just getting in the new year here. January 1st, 2026. William Nylander, seen in the press box wearing a tank top. The temperature that day was a high of -7, feels like -14.
I can't believe the Willie tank got on there.
I mean,
It's actually
we
it's
talked
kind
about
of
that
poetic,
a lot.
but it's kind of poetic that he wore a tank.
Yeah.
In Jan, all of a sudden it's foreshadowing if you were writing the story.
Let me just add this one in there. January 3rd. Matthews becomes the all-time leading scorer for the Toronto Maple Leafs in a loss to the New York Islanders. January 23rd, 2026. In the midst of a season-changing losing streak, Craig Berube removes his hat at morning skate to reveal a head wound that sent the gathered media into gasps.
But I've never seen anything like it in my life.
It was one of the worst. Did his head almost get taken off?
It's unbelievable. And it's like it never happened. I've never seen anyone heal as well as he healed. But it was jarring. And it really didn't help that it was a time when like all eyes were on what's going on with this team.
That was, if you remember, when that gym accident happened, the morning of, you know what game that was? Mitch Marner's return.
Oh, God.
So a few eyeballs on that game. All right. Still got a few to go here, boys. January 2025, 2026. During a well-attended game, during the city's worst snowstorm, in the loss 4 of a 6-game losing streak, William Nylander looks straight into the camera and for no apparent reason, flips the bird. We had some talks on that one, boys. Ready?
Find me a positive. Okay, all right, keep going.
Okay. February 3rd, Leafs polish off the pre-Olympic break with 3 wins that somehow convinces the front office that maybe this team doesn't suck.
Oh.
6 points.
6 points.
Out.
Devastating road trip.
February 18th, we're in the Olympics. Surely we're safe. Mitch Marner scores an Olympic overtime winner that puts the Leaf fans right back into the crosshair for driving them out of town. Okay. We still got a few more points. February 22nd, Austin Matthews leads Team USA to a gold medal that turns into the most politically charged sporting event in decades. There's actually a debate if Austin Matthews will miss regular season games because he's shaking hands with Trump, leading to convos about him leaving.
Yeah.
That happened. And the final page.
That one's still lingering.
It's still lingering. March 6th, the trade deadline. Brad Schliving waits till the 11th hour to trade his Leafs UFA and almost trades their only young star, Matthew Knies, to the Montreal Canadiens.
Didn't happen.
Almost. Almost.
Well, depending on who you talk to. If it was almost or not. I don't know how.
Right.
We know they talked.
Right.
And now we're on March 12th, so we're getting closer. Leafs have lost 8 in a row now coming out of the Olympics. And well on their way to their 9th straight. Until Radko Gudas knees Matthew, leading to an international referendum on how soft the Leafs are. That leads to them getting 5 points in 4 games. That could also add to a reason that they don't get another top 5 pick. Yeah. And on Friday, March 20th, Craig Berube blames Joseph Woll for a loss to the East-leading Canes in which they allowed 21 high-danger chances. And on Saturday, March 21st, William Nylander takes a head-high wrister that knocks out Stolarz of the game, after which he calls out his rookie for saying that, whatever he said. And now we're at March 23rd, boys. That's 1 year.
Oh, man.
We got a lot of losses.
Good year to have a radio show.
And still 12 games, 11.
I mean, I could have done it at the end of the year. Like, we still have no idea what mysteries are waiting on the other side, but There you go.
Wow. Well, thank you for that. That was very thorough.
Some things.
What's the best thing that's happened?
Unavoidable, but a lot of things self-inflicted wounds.
Yeah. Hard year for them to manage some of those things you're referencing. Yeah, some of them self-inflicted. What's the best thing that's happened this year?
Yeah.
Nick Waugh for a first rounder.
I still think you need him.
What's that?
If they're going to try to compete next year, I'm not sure. I know you don't want that, but
I think it's Easton Cowan had a really good rookie year.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I actually do think that
he looks like he's going to be a player.
When you zoom out on this season and you look away from some of the stuff that's happened, like the 15 things that I just listed there, I think you will be able to say that he's had a good rookie year and has a good future as a really good pro. Like, I thought he was, I mean, they were awful on Saturday, but he was their only good guy, really. Set up Tavares' goal, scored one of the goals. Thought he cares, tries hard. Good rookie year for him.
Yeah, I have no question he can play one day on a top 6 contending team. Mm-hmm. Will he ever be an all-star, a superstar in the league? I'm not sure, but he is going to be a really good pro. Mm-hmm. So,
I hate myself.
I don't think they're. Yeah, I don't think they're going to be in a position to be disappointed anytime soon for Easton.
Who else has had a good year for the Leafs? Oliver Ekman-Larsson has.
Definitely.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
We agree.
And
no, I'm just saying.
Yeah, and not much else.
No. So
not much else. And I think there's a part of them that has been disappointed with Matthew Knies.
Yeah. Obviously, Matthews had a bad year. Nylander has actually had a good statistical year offensively, one of his better outputs. But
so, what did you like? Matthew Nyes played 24 minutes, and was it you that said didn't record a shot?
Didn't record a shot. No.
I mean, how does that happen? Right? I mean, he's
unless you
your best winger, your best left winger, and you have ample opportunities.
Maybe you went into the game saying, "I'm just going to play this guy no matter what happens tonight. I'm just going to play the heck out of him."
He's just
show people he can handle it. 24-28,
he's such
minus
a big,
2,
strong
no
guy,
shots,
and
2 hits.
He just, I mean, he's going to have 65 points, 60 points this year, and it's like they're kind of quiet points.
Yeah, it hasn't been, if you didn't have expectations for him, didn't have that contract that he signed this offseason. Again, I think a lot of these guys sign their first big ticket contract and they struggle for whatever reason. But if you didn't know any of that, and you just watched him play, you'd be like, that's a pretty good player. Like guy's big, he can skate, he's getting points.
But he doesn't have that presence still
The expectations
that you'd want to feel when he's out on the ice consistently.
Yeah, I know. I think you're putting words in my mouth. That's how you feel about it.
Yeah. For me,
that,
yes.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
It has been a little short of expectations. So you lose that game to Ottawa. Sammy did the tank watch a little bit here. And the rest of the way, we're kind of talking about some names that are probably not going to be on the Leafs, even if they are call-ups, whether it's Sim or Tverberg or where you're just looking for bodies. It's tough to know what to root for aside from losses right now.
And it's hard to know truly what direction this team goes until you get more clarity out of who's in charge and who's going to be there. Is Brad going to be there here?
Does Matthews want to be here? You see an article in The Athletic today. It's, what if Matthews wants out? What does this look like?
So, okay. So we know that there's going to be a conversation with Austin in the summer. Does Austin need to feel a little better with a new voice, or could Brad go in there and convince him that there's ample reason for you to want to stay?
Well, then that's an interesting question. Do you think above Brad, do you think maybe Keith Pelly would talk to Austin? Because, if Austin's talking to Brad, I don't know. Like, Brad's not going to, or Austin's not going to be like, I think
tell
you
me
should
what
go.
Keith could say to him.
I think you just want to get a feel for where he's at. What do you think is going on here? We want you to be a part of this. You're our captain. What do you see for this organization? An open.
That's dangerous. And that's how you become LeBron, like making decisions for the team. And I don't know. I think he's still, at the end of the day, it's still a player. I know he's the captain. Go ahead, Kevin.
Yeah, just whether it's Keith or Brad, you still, I think you need to add. And when it's all said and done, I think majority of the feel is that whether it was Brendan Shanahan or if someone else new comes in, there has to be someone else involved in this, one way or the other. Yeah. Even if Brad stays, if it's not Brendan, who else is it that's going to be a face and a figure for the Leafs moving forward?
And do you think that there are people vying for that job right now? Do people know that's a thing? Is that...
I don't know. I have no idea what's going on behind the scenes in terms of prepping a decision. When does that decision get made? Do they have people in mind already? Could there be a deal done quietly already?
It has to happen so early because you have to make decisions on players. Like people talk about, you're going to make big trades at the draft. Well, you need the right people there making those decisions.
Remember a caller on Friday that was scared about them bringing in somebody and then having I got to have to look around. Yeah. So.
Well, you're even seeing all right, well, Michelli's gone. Like, are we sure?
That's why they get paid the big old bucks to make those hard decisions.
Yeah.
Okay. Our thanks to Sammy's
Uplifting
manifesto, who just gave us a complete...
Hey, Fraser Minton has 2 points since the Olympics. How's that?
He stinks.
That's a
Good
positive.
thing
How about
ready.
that?
There you go.
How about
that trade's not so bad after all.
All right, don't go away. Jason Bukala up next, and Kevin Zegers. Oh, our Canadian. All right, let's kick her nationally. It's the Real Kyper and Bourne Show. We are live on Sportsnet. Sportsnet 650 in Vancouver, 960 in Calgary, streaming always on Sportsnet Plus. If you miss our show, catch it on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and of course there's YouTube. The lovely chat going on, the very passionate chat.
Enjoying our guitar riffs between segments.
They're changing it up every go now.
Yeah,
Every
you might
song's
get some different tunes.
Yeah.
Give us a thumbs up for Sammy's manifesto. We need a league-wide manifesto as well.
Don't got it for you, boys.
This hour of Real Kyper and Bourne brought to you by Bet365. All right, boys. Lots of talk around the Edmonton Oilers with their recent loss to Tampa Bay. Inconsistencies.
Inconsistencies. They're inconsistently bad.
Continue to plague them.
Sorry.
We talked in our first hour, of course, about in our Leaf edition on some of the frustrations from Sammy's manifesto. But I imagine there'd be one for Edmonton too, Sammy, if you followed them as closely as you do the Leafs, because there's some consistency in perhaps star players focusing on their head coach.
Where would Leon Draisaitl being pitch side at Bayern Munich's stadium saying that he hopes they play long enough so that he can get back in time to play?
Yeah,
where would that rank on the manifesto?
Some concern,
yeah.
I would say.
Yeah.
A fascinating team this year, right? Like high expectations. McDavid calling the Pacific Battle, which I think we have the quote.
We have everything from McDavid from Saturday night.
Do you want to just start with that just because it's fun to hear the phrase he used about the Pacific?
Very detailed, like post-game for Connor McDavid.
This is not the one that we're going to get into, I don't think. Would we have the pillow fight one?
Yeah, we have them all.
Let's have it.
Play. I lost my sheet. I think it's clip 3. Okay.
All right, Connor McDavid.
Yeah, obviously we're fortunate to play in this division. A lot of teams are fortunate to play in this division. It's a bit of a pillow fight right now, but thankful obviously to not have lost any ground. That being said, we got to find a way to win some games here on the road. 2 big ones obviously against Utah and Vegas, and we got to make some ground too. So good challenge ahead.
All right. I don't think I'll ever hear the term pillow fight again without thinking about Connor McDavid in the Pacific Division.
The Pacific Division lost. They played, all 6 teams played Saturday, and every team lost by multiple goals. The game before they went, or the day before they all played, or 6 of them played, sorry, they went 0-5-1. This is unbelievable. The entire division is almost underwater in terms of goals for and against. Only Vegas and Edmonton are pluses.
It's a dumb league.
Anaheim, who is first in the division, would be scrapping for a playoff spot outside the playoffs in the East.
It's unbelievable.
Nobody ever wins.
Yeah, it just feels like the Oilers lose every night, and then you check the standings. Still second.
Still a couple points out of first here, yeah.
So they played the Lightning on Saturday, and there were some comments made by the captain of the Oilers. I mean, there's 2 clips in there, Derek. Why don't you start with the first one from
A lot of great players over there. They got a great system. They're perfectly coached. They all know what they're doing. All over the ice, it's impressive. They're a great team.
Okay.
Perfectly coached.
They all know what they're doing.
This is uncomfortable.
Yeah, that one.
So
that one's not hard to kind of read.
Let's play the second clip, Derek.
Is that just a bunch of time doing the same things over and over again? Like, how do you guys get to that, to be that rehearsed, to have that system you can rely on and all those things? Where does that come from? How do you guys get there?
Yeah, well, that's a coaching question. You can ask Nava that question. Obviously we've been playing together a long time, and we feel like we're somewhat rehearsed and organized, but not to their level.
Somewhat.
Okay. So to be totally journalistic here and to finish it off,
let's do it.
He followed up today with some comments about this. Let's play clip 4.
No, we're not taking shots. It's just everybody can be better, myself included. Everybody can be better. It's not. It was more just complimentary of a great team in this league that came in and played a good game. Nothing more than that.
So, what do you make of it all?
I'm going to sneeze. So
You sure about that?
Yeah, I don't think it's not nothing, and I appreciate him toning it down. I don't think he has any other choice but to kind of tone down that narrative, but it's out there, and it's not coming back anytime soon.
And Kip, right before the Olympic break, Leon Draisaitl gave a 45-second impassioned speech about go ask the coaches. That the coaches are, someone that you need to talk to about this. That's brutal. Your 2-star players, name drop Knobber.
We all have to be better, starting with coaching.
And then this is the same year where they, likely your owner, imported a coach who was with you last year back from, I think he was up in Stouffville, and he's back in Edmonton to be on their bench.
Yeah.
Manifesto.
I remember saying, like, for Knobloch, you're in trouble, pal.
He's in real trouble.
No, he was in trouble with Draisaitl.
Yeah.
But here we are now, much later, with Connor. And
to me, it's not even a debate anymore. They either win in a significant way, cup final again, whatever, or they're getting a new coach.
Even if they don't win, it feels like.
I think it's just win or bust.
Yeah.
And they've referred to that a couple times. I don't know if just more recently now with this, I don't know. I mean, I can only recall one time you've changed a coach this late, and it was Lou Lamoriello, right? With Larry, with Larry Robinson. Robinson. Yeah.
He went down and did it.
That's
wild.
Who did they fire? Do you remember?
Jacques Lemaire? No, he came in after.
No.
Because I do remember, but I can't think.
Jacques Demers?
Like it's
some of the Jacques. All the Jacques over the years.
But you'd have to be. It'd be bold.
It wouldn't happen now. Jeez.
I don't know.
Are you kidding me?
Can you imagine after Connor's comments and then Leon's prior to that, you're not having a conversation with boys? Can we win with this guy?
Well, you know what they would do then in this hypothetical that we're just talking about is they just tell Coffey to do it. They'd be like, clearly the boys think you have some impact. You have a voice here.
There's somebody else out there you could fly in right now.
Talking about DeBoer?
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
Would he do it? Does he want to do it? We assume. Did I hit my cough button, or did I just put that into thousands of?
You nailed it.
Okay.
We're just going through it here on air.
We assume that Peter DeBoer wants to coach again, and his preference would be to a cup contending team.
Yeah.
At this point of his life,
right into
he's got enough money. What he doesn't have is a Stanley Cup, just like Connor.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. You're right. Probably not at this point.
Yeah. But
you can't tell me behind the scenes these types of conversations aren't going on.
Yeah. I mean, they have to. We just talked about in the last hour, should management of the Leafs go to Austin Matthews and say, what do you think? What do you whatever?
And Sam made an excellent point.
You don't want to.
It's kind of dangerous.
It is to make a player the GM of your team essentially, or dictate the. But with Connor McDavid, do you see that differently than Austin Matthews?
Well, Austin's lost a lot of clout, obviously, with 2 bad seasons essentially.
Yeah,
but
by his standards.
But if it was like it would go a long way for me to resign in a year, and they believed him. Then I think Austin could carry that type of power.
And certainly McDavid could, if they felt that they needed a new direction.
McDavid could 100% make that type of call, at least throw out that energy that I think we could use a new voice at this point. All right. Let's not ask us. Let's ask Jason Bukala, who joins us now. Books, how are you, my friend?
Great, fellas. How are you today?
We're good. Thanks for joining us. Just in terms of the Edmonton Oilers now and what they're going through, and we all assume it's still a very good team. but a team that's headed to where we're not sure. But what do you make out of the recent comments from Connor McDavid and talking about how well coached Tampa Bay is and how they can work on a few things themselves?
Yeah, I've struggled with that statement a little bit, and I've kind of tried to look at it from both perspectives. One of them being that it's just respectful towards John Cooper, who's a hell of a coach, and I mean he's done a fantastic job in Tampa Bay for a long time, and Connor McDavid played for him at the Olympics. But given the state of the Edmonton Oilers, and it's not great, guys. I mean, holy jumping, the Toronto Maple Leafs are equally as good as the Edmonton Oilers right now. Given the state of that organization, the team, I think it's a shot over the bow that he expects more there. The thing of it is that I don't know. Don't you guys feel like star players in today's NHL have a lot of pull, even behind the scenes when things aren't going well? To like they're in the coach's office, maybe giving a little bit of a push here or there. Strategically, that's just my take. I think that goes on a lot more today than it ever has in the past, and I look at Knobloch and he doesn't exactly. I would say his door's open all the time for communication that way, and positive or negative. So it's if he does not survive the first round, which is not a given for me at this point in time, and it's not all on him, by the way, because I think it's an absolute travesty what's going on between the pipes there. I was speaking to somebody today, and they said to me, can you believe that at the beginning of the year, the goal was to make the goaltending better? And the argument can certainly be made today that it's worse. So there's a lot to unpack there.
Books, where do you put the value of consistency? Like you look at Tampa Bay, and I was going to ask you, what do you think Tampa Bay has going for it with John Cooper that they're able to kind of keep the band together and keep having success? But I look at the three longest tenured coaches in the league. It's John Cooper, Jared Bednar, and Rod Brindamore. All three organizations win constantly and consistently. Is it because of their consistency they're having success? Or are those guys just keeping their jobs for other reasons because of said success?
Oh, no, I don't think they're keeping their jobs for other reasons. I think that they've adjusted and they've adapted, first of all. I think when you go to Carolina, Bourne, the Carolina way, there's a DNA to that group there. There's a way of thinking. What's interesting about Carolina, and I've been there and I've seen it evolve over the years, is that there is a little bit of a disconnect outside of the room in terms of how they build their team a little bit. I don't think Rod Brindamore is always on the same page as management in terms of the bodies coming in and going out in a draft and develop model for certain, and then even maybe occasionally in trade. So when they incubate inside that dressing room there, they know the way that they have to play, and it's the Rod Brindamore way, and that's just the way it is. And I would say that in Colorado, it is an interesting dynamic there because on any given night, some of those guys on that roster, they're very hungry, but they're very competitive, and they're outwardly competitive on the bench. I think it's a handful to coach some of those guys on that team there. So Bednar's obviously got the patience to do that. But when it comes to Cooper, I just think this is the prime example of a coach who's evolved over a long period of time. And Nikita Kucherov is arguably the best player in the NHL on any given night, but he would arguably be, and we've talked about it before, kind of Kovalev-like back in the day in Montreal, like all that skill, and he's going to frustrate you sometimes, but Cooper gets the best out of him. And I think John Cooper is the best coach in the National Hockey League for a variety of reasons.
You're watching and listening to Jason Bukala, Pro Hockey Group, Sportsnet, of course, former NHL scout. Books, so we watched Tampa, and at times they were like maybe a handful of other teams where you're like, they're trending downward now. There's going to be and then lo and behold, you look at that blue line and you see some fresh faces and Moser and Radish. How much has that played into what we see out of Tampa compared to still the question marks of Edmonton's blue line? And I can appreciate Connor Murphy coming in, fought the other night, blocked a few shots, trying to do what he can, but ultimately it's not moving the needle on the blue line like those two guys I just mentioned in Tampa Bay.
Yeah, no. So in Tampa Bay, It's interesting, isn't it? Because when you look at that group of defense guys and then you look at the record, I think we all probably take a step back and go, how's that happening? Well, Vasilevsky's been Vasilevsky-like this year, and that's obviously a big part of it. But, you know, they have elevated their games and gone to a whole new level. Like Radish is going to get paid a lot of money in the offseason. It's been a journey for him to get this to this stage, but he's going to get paid. Moser, you know, it's incredible to me that for when your goaltending goes to another level, Kyper, for me, the Murphys of the world or the Stashnys of the world or whoever you want to pick in Edmonton, their game looks a lot better, looks a lot more buttoned up when somebody behind you is making 2 or 3 extra grade A saves in a game. Everybody looks a little bit better. And I truly believe that those guys in Tampa Bay, part of the reason is, yes, they can outscore their opponents on any given night, but they got a ton of grit up front too. Haven't they adapted? Like, they're a hard out on any given night. They'll drop the flippers with anybody. They'll run you over. They'll play borderline dirty hockey, or they'll skill you to death on the power play when they start ping-ponging it around. So it's an interesting way that Tampa's built their roster, but it started with elite goaltending, the ability to run a power play out there that can be a difference maker. And then, you know, I just think that those guys, Radish, yeah, it's a career year, but you get the most out of them too when the people around you can insulate you to be the best version of yourself. You're not going to see that in Edmonton. They're going to chase it, in my estimation, from now till the end of the year.
So, Books, at the other end of the spectrum from Tampa Bay, we just had our Leafs hour. We're talking about, you know, them trying to get into the top 5 of the draft this year, losing enough hockey games to get into that spot. So actually paying some attention here to these names. Your board right now, I believe you have Ivar Stenberg at number 1. I'm going to say I know the least about him. You know, looking for the Leafs in particular, looking for a D if they could. Haven't had a number 1 D in 100 years. Obviously, Gavin McKenna, a big name here in Canada. So tell us a little bit about Stenberg and then maybe what you think the Leafs would be after in a D if you do think D.
Yeah, so Stenberg, let's start with him playing in the SHL. And I've had a lot of conversations. First of all, I was splitting hairs a little bit in terms of who I was going to have number 1. And it really brought me back to my staples, my process, because McKenna's an elite offensive talent. There's no question about it. And Bourne, his ability to escape a check in small areas, like working off the half wall, you know, those small area pivots, you feel it on your back pocket, you can spin off a check and make plays. Yeah. Whether you take it to the hole or not, like if he attracts attention from a second check, he's going to dish it off. It's super elite. It really, really is. Stenberg, on the other hand, he's not as elite in small areas. I'd say he's got more power between the blue lines, not necessarily more quickness, but what he has is a complementary game that when he's not scoring, he's going to do all the other things very, very well. And I don't say this lightly, but when we scouted Alexander Barkov, and he's a centerman, so I don't want anybody to misunderstand, but hockey sense is hockey sense. And the routes you take above the play when you don't have the puck, or even if when your team does have the puck, to find a seam for an outlet for your group, Stenberg's is super elite. Like, you just can't teach that. As much as you can't teach McKenna's offense, you can't teach Stenberg's brain, if that makes sense. So I went to Stenberg 1 because I believe that he's going to be 15 or 20 points less than McKenna in the National Hockey League, but he's going to do a lot of things better than McKenna. So I go back to my staples in my scouting process when you're splitting hairs. And can he skate at NHL pace? Yes. Because he think it at NHL level? Absolutely. And is he a relentless competitor? McKenna in his last 10-game segment had 18 points, including an 8-point showing, which is ridiculous, not including his most recent playoff production. He was -2 over that period of time. Not awful. 24 minutes a night, -2. Stenberg had 3 tucks in the SHL at the hardest time of year. Playoffs in the SHL, Sweden's top pro league. He was even, and he was playing 18 minutes a night. I'm splitting hairs, but the complete player in Stenberg is where I went there. So I hope that people don't see him because he's out of sight, out of mind in the SHL. You see him at the World Juniors. I think he'll play for Sweden at the World Championships, the men's. So keep an eye on that for viewers. But those guys are out of Toronto Maple Leafs range. That's not going to happen. So if they are lucky enough to get inside the top 5, I mean, what do you want? Do you want a centerman or do you want a defenseman?
Big D, please. Large D man.
Large D man. Okay. Well, you're going to look at Cam Reed or you're going to look at Keaton Verhoff then, and they're both going to be right shot guys. And actually, Kyper and I shared some back and forth a couple weeks ago, and I fired off some video on Reader there. Kyper, you and I were sharing that, and this guy transports the puck with authority. He's got pushback defensively that's really evolving. He's killing plays physically. He's big, 6'2", 190 pounds. He's killing plays in his lane. He can play the left side and the right side, and he's a transitional guy who can quarterback the power play. Really, really good player. He's number 3, and he's in Sault Ste. Marie. He just came off an injury, he missed some time, but he's back now. Keaton Verhoff, 6'4", 215-pound guy now. He's going to be 225. He's Aaron Ekblad-like for me. I think that if he would have played junior this year instead of college, he would have had well over 20 goals. He can shoot the puck a ton from distance. He's got real good agility. And when he plays the weak side as a right shot, especially on the power play, if they move the puck up top to him, whether it's a low to high cycle or on the power play, and he takes 1/2 step to the middle of the ice, he's pumping that thing at the net, and he's beating goalies from long range. His defensive awareness, he's more of a in the way guy than a total, run you over guy. But when you're that big, just be in the way and be competitive enough to kill plays. These guys are franchise elite type players, top pairing D, top line forwards.
Hey, Books, out of your, say, top 5, who seems most NHL ready in your mind? And I only say this because Schaefer ruined it for everybody now. He did, right? If you're a top 3 pick, hey, you got to come in next year and help us right away. We need you now. If the Leafs are lucky enough to get a top 5 pick or even closer with a lottery pick, they're like, hey, come and help us now.
We need you tomorrow.
How realistic is it for any of these guys to come in, and especially McKenna for me, because he's not a big guy. I don't know if he weighs $160, $165. Maybe he's like Jack Hughes, who may need 2, 3, 4 years to be a star. Tell me, what do you see out of the top 5?
Yeah, and when you bring up Hughes, which I think is fascinating, Kyper, plays the middle of the ice. He can freewheel, right? When you're a winger, as you guys know, depending on how good your D is to move a puck to the half wall, or if you're just going to take it low and slow and break out the puck with speed, those fall into the categories of can you do it at the NHL when you're light. McKenna's not 170 pounds yet. The guy that can do it is
what is he?
The guy. Stenberg can do it. Absolutely do it right now. There's no question in my mind he can step into the National Hockey League next year, and he can play a variety of roles for you responsibly. A game, B game. Not sure where the offense will go right out of the box, but to your point, you got the Schaefers, and then before that, you got the Celebrinis, and you got the Bedards. You got different people who are doing different things. What do those guys have in common, guys? Celebrini and Bedard, they're centermen. It's a little bit different. Schaefer is as a unicorn, as a defenseman. I think Keaton Verhoff can step right in as well. I really do. Chase Reed, I think he can step in and do it as well. If you fall to 5, I've got Caleb Maholtra there. Caleb Maholtra will have the smarts, but he'll be out of the box Fraser Minton-like with the Leafs before he becomes what he's really going to be, which is a top 6 guy who's going to score a lot more than Minton will, even though Minton's gone off this year. But you understand the comparison I'm making. Like, he'll survive for a year, but it'll take some time. Here's the danger, and I'm curious if you guys agree with this. There's so much to unpack with the Toronto Maple Leafs right now in terms of DNA and what you're going to surround these youthful kids with. And, what's the attitude of the group? What does it mean to be a Toronto Maple Leaf? Who's part of my leadership group to show me the way on the hardest days? And what's the expectation for you on the hardest days? You have to factor all that in there. Yeah, you want to look for a savior. Matthew Schaefer, again, like this guy, he's carried that team on his back. He really has. He's like, look at me. I'm going to lead the way. I don't know that Stenberg's necessarily going to do that. McKenna will have the swagger to do it, but he's going to fail a lot more. He's going to get punched in the nose once or twice, and he's going to have to learn how to come back from that. And, it's just going to be hard for him because off the puck, he's light, and his detail is emerging, but it's got a long way to go.
Books, last one for me. Of all the college signings you've seen in the NHL so far this season, are there any that have much of a chance of being impactful? I know it's pretty rare for these guys, but it happens sometimes.
Yeah. I don't want to sit here and make something up, so I'm not going to go there. I think that these are depth guys. Like, we all get caught up in the vortex of this time of year, guys. Couple of things. NCAA free agents Or how about this one? When the men's world championships come around and somebody pipes off at the worlds and then you sign him to some deal and then he's going home. Like look at the kid from was it Tomlak or the kid in Edmonton this year who led the SH. He's one of the top scorers in the SHL last year. Yeah, Tomasek, and he ends up, gonzo. So I'm not here to put any pressure on any of those guys, those college guys. I'm not seeing it. I think they'll compete for jobs, but Toronto took a swing at a couple of guys. We'll see how it goes. The good thing about the kid from Union Beer, I think Beer, is that how I say it? Great. He got significant leadership skills. Like he plays really, really hard. So A game, B game, but it's not an A NHL game, Bourne. So it's mucker like at the NHL level. We'll see where it goes.
All right.
I just want to follow up, Books, what you said earlier about kids coming into an environment and how strong is the environment and who are the leaders and all of that. Just your experience as a director, did you guys talk about, like, if I'm not comfortable with what's going on at the NHL level, no matter how good a kid is, maybe he's better going back to junior for another year or stick to whatever program that he's in rather than bring him in? Or is there too much upside still for a kid who's beyond that and just needs to kind of get used to his surroundings for the next 15 years, hopefully?
No, we talked about it, Kyper, and we made some huge mistakes. I have to say, like Henrik Bjorkstrom was one of the most dynamic college players. We drafted him in the first round in Buffalo in 2016. He wanted to come out. We finally caved to the agent. We weren't ready. We weren't ready to insulate him from the draft and development side of things. And what I mean by that is that the athlete, when they come out, they think they're going to be bona fide NHL players right away. They're not. There's going to be some learning that has to go on. So what happens then is you end up sending them back down to the American League. They lose momentum if you haven't got them buttoned up properly. And we lost momentum with that kid. He should have went back to Denver for another year, probably won the Hobie Baker, and he would have been a much better NHL player when he arrived. It's very, very delicate, and that's where it comes back to your staples on your drafting. So, like, when you go back to the Stenberg discussion here, and I can tell you, like, we even had it going back to in the Barkov drafts and other drafts that have come through, even Owen Tippett, when we drafted Tippett. Look at Lawson Krause. We drafted Krause. We needed to get bigger, stronger, harder, and we drafted him for a reason, because we thought that on our team's worst days that he would be able to provide that for us. But we also knew he was the type of personality when he arrived that he would be able to fight through his hardest days. And it's all part of your process. And when you talk about Toronto right now, and Mark Leach is going to do the very, very best he can. There's no question. But they're chasing DNA, guys. This is going to be delicate here for the next little bit, and I'm curious to see how it unfolds.
Books, always love your feedback, man. Thanks for doing this.
Of course, fellas. I'm in the shop in a few days. I might come over and say hi. Nice to see you.
Sounds good.
Thanks, Books. Appreciate your time, man.
All right, see you, Sammy.
See you, Books. Oh, Mike. Turn your mic on.
Yeah, I mean, I find it fascinating to hear from a guy who's been in that position and the conversations that no matter how good you think of a player is, you got to factor in what kind of environment I'm putting him in. And to listen to him talk about some mistakes that they made, it shows you how tough it is.
Yeah. I'm of a couple minds of it. Like, I think it's really tough to predict how a human being is going to react to certain circumstances,
But if you get to know them and you've interviewed them and you've followed them and you've watched the patterns of his season, either in junior or college, there's you can lean towards your prediction being a lot clearer if you get to know the guy.
Yeah. I mean, if it was a science, then we wouldn't go through a draft from 10 years ago and all the games played totals would be in the first 45 guys picked, but it's not. So, for some reason, certain guys take steps where others don't, handle things where others don't, and vice versa. But yeah, I do think it's important. I think if you're a team like the Leafs, and that's kind of the backdrop of what we're talking about here, you can't predict what it's going to feel like 1 year from now and pick a kid based on that. You don't know who the GM is. You don't know if the captain's here. You don't know who the coach is. All you do is you take the best player you can.
You can, like Outcast once said, you can plan a pretty picnic, but you can't predict the weather.
Yeah, exactly. It's just really tough to say. I think that kid has resilience and that kid doesn't. And I'm not saying it's impossible. I agree with you that there are some kids you get the sense for it better than others, but
yeah.
I mean, you look at that 2016 draft that he's talking about, right? Like the first overall is Austin Matthews. He's clearly, got the most points from that draft. But then the third most is DeBrincat, who was taken in this 39th overall. Jesper Bratt was taken 162. He's fifth, 162nd overall. Hagel was taken in the 6th round. It's just hard to know, man.
It is tough to know.
Anyways, it's game time. Presented by Bet365, an official partner of the NHL. Must be 19 plus. Ontario only. Please play responsibly. One singular hockey game on the schedule tonight, boys.
And how many tomorrow?
I think 15.
And then the next day?
I think 2. If I had to guess, those are the correct numbers.
They are.
So I'm not going to talk about the NHL because there's only one game. Just looking at the NCAA March Madness. You guys watch it over the weekend?
Yeah, what was the game Sunday where it's the layup won the game?
St. John's Red
St.
Storm,
John,
baby. Get him on the Kyper Bourne.
Wow.
Shout out Ken Juba. Shout out St. John's.
They blew a huge lead. They needed that. Anyways.
And that was that kid's first bucket of the game, by the way.
For him.
Who scored the
Anyways,
darling.
just looking at the futures for the rest of the tournament, the favorite remaining is the Michigan Wolverines at plus 300, Arizona plus 325, Duke plus 400. And for your Johnnies, the Red Storm, if you think they're going to come out of that bracket, they're going to have to play Duke, I believe, right? They are plus 3,000, third from the bottom. So if you like them on that number, there you go, buddy. They're right there. I don't mind Purdue at plus 1,400. Everybody's been talking about them as a sexy pick. Got a lot of seniors, I've heard. So
as someone who knows absolutely nothing,
same.
I think
but I've heard people who know
Johnny's
stuff
time.
say Purdue has a chance. They're plus 1,400. So anyways, that was game time presented by Bet365, an official partner of the NHL. Must be 19 plus. Ontario only. Please play responsibly.
Sammy mentions the only game tonight, Ottawa and the New York Rangers, where James Reimer's scheduled to start tonight.
The James Reimer.
Yeah. He's been good.
He's been
Let's
good.
give him tons of credit.
Leafs could have used him.
But
Caden Primo was fine. I forgot to put that in the same manifesto.
Oh, yeah.
this late in the season, and
huge game.
Ottawa has back-to-back. So clearly, Allmark is for Detroit
They're
tomorrow.
like, we can handle the Rangers.
But at this point, would you have been tempted to just play your number one goalie back-to-back?
Well, New York Islanders just went Sorokin. Back-to-back, baby. Second game, he got a shutout. Like, I don't know when this I get the analytics. Like, it's harder the second night. Numbers go down a little the second night. Good players, for God's sake.
You're in a playoff race.
Paying them $8.5 million. Playoff race. 11 games left.
I couldn't never imagine like a guy like Henrik Lundqvist going to him saying, hey, we're not in the playoffs yet. We have to win every game here. But we're not going to play you tonight.
I want you to be fresh for tomorrow.
And he'd look at you and go,
but in Valley.
No.
Give me the ball.
Give me the ball.
That kid on St. John's who got that bucket, he told Patino, run the play for me with 0 points on the night. That's confidence.
And I mean, if he says that, you got to be like, I'm giving him the ball.
This guy's feeling it.
But Reimer has to win. Like, and you looked at the Rangers, and I don't know, they could give him a.
Zibanejad's 1,000th game tonight. Maybe a little bit of a horned up Rangers team. They got still a little bit of skill there.
I think if Reimer's no good and you lose that game, it reflects on Allmark as well.
Totally.
As the people making the decision.
Dr. Season off doesn't let him play 2 games in a row. Let's break to our boy Kevin Zegers on the other side.
All right, Kevin Zegers. He's got a brand new series out, The Madison.
Let's go.
With
just
my favorite
Taylor Sheridan creation,
Michelle Pfeiffer.
And he's also just texts me with the Leafs all the time.
So
I gotta get his
my
Leafs
gosh.
stuff.
Just sit back. All right. That more when we return to Real Kyper and Bourne. As a reminder, this hour of Real Kyper and Bourne brought to you by Bet365. Now focus.
Sorry. Sorry.
I don't know, like, if this is a thing that just happens every break now.
Okay.
But there's just a new song every YouTube break now.
It's actually just three guys upstairs in a jam band freestyling.
Do we have fish up there? What's going on?
I love it.
What's going on?
All right, let's welcome him back to the program. We've had him on before. Canadian actor Kevin Zegers, star of the all-new Madison, which is on Paramount.
Yes. Look at the bucket, too. He's looking sharp.
Looking sharp. Another Taylor Sheridan series out now. Zeegs, what's going on, my friend?
How you doing, Kip?
Good.
JB, good to see you. By the way, Sammy, has he started using a little product in his hair? I've noticed that.
He's all done up today.
Who, me?
Yeah, look at this.
But
I just got a haircut.
Nobody's got better hair than Sammy.
I just got a haircut, boys. That's all.
Yeah, but he covers it with that hat all the time.
Yeah. I got to show off my hat.
He's going to act like
I was at a restaurant the other day and someone said, "Oh, nice hat." I was wearing this one. And I said, it takes a real fan to wear this hat right now. As opposed to when they're winning, because they're dog's breakfast right now.
So how long did it take you to say yes to Taylor Sheridan?
Before the phone rang. I mean, he could have told me I needed to push a dolly on the show, and I was going to say yes.
So your character is I remember Chade Harris. Is that it?
Harris. Yeah, cowboy.
All right. So listen, I'm in a couple episodes. Your character's the nicest, sweetest guy ever.
He is.
So Michelle Pfeiffer, like, you need a cup of sugar? I'll bring you over a cup of sugar. So sweet. But where would your character be if he was on the ice and Radis Gudis just took out the captain of the Toronto Maple Leafs? Where is your character there, my friend?
I mean, I think I'd probably be a little more like the Barzal guy who, tried to saw that guy's feet off. But, I think everyone who was on the ice when that happened should not have played the rest of the year. That's just me. Including the goalie. I would have just shut them all down. But I think it's a symptom. A friend of mine was asking me about the Leafs, and he was like, I'm like, it's like this girl treats you really badly all the time. And they're like, I think maybe if we get back together, it'll be different this time. We just constantly think that they're not soft and have no character and have no leadership, but that's the way it is. And I think we need to just cut the head off and start fresh. I think that's the best way forward.
So you're a diehard fan here, and like Sam, like it's like part of your identity. So how has the whiplash been of like how good they've been, how competitive they've been this year has been generally shocking for Leafs fans.
I mean, I think, yes, I think they've been really good, but I don't think they were ever great.
Okay.
I think they were always I think we all knew, if you know a little bit about hockey, they were never gonna win a game set. They just they don't have that juice. They don't have that guy. So I never thought that, let's say they beat Florida, they would have found a way to lose the next series. They just would have. I never thought that if they beat Florida last year, they were going to run through and win the Stanley Cup. They just don't have the horses. They're not I want someone who's going to saw your head off, and they just don't have that guy. They don't have closers. They're not closers.
So there must be a out west, especially where you are in California. You're not the only Leaf diehard out there. I mean, you find yourself defending the team no matter what, like Sammy sometimes?
No, I'm like Sammy now. I've sort of gone the other way. They're terrible. No, I've stopped defending them. But yes, there are a few guys actually on my team that I play here on Monday nights tonight that are big Leafs guys. And we've all collectively decided they need to trade everybody and,
Is there a hockey playing community of actors that you're skating with?
Oh, I don't mess around. I don't hang out with actors when I'm not working now. These are mostly Russian carpenters, some Canadian plumbers, and there's some Canadian guys, but they're yeah, no, they don't have. I don't mess around with actors.
Do you get to Kings games out there?
I do. Yeah. Although they're really bad this year too. And I was going to go, the Leafs are coming here in a few weeks. My daughter wants to go. I was like, just save your time. It's not worth it. It's just a mess watching two dogs breakfast teams.
Can you look around the league now and cheer for somebody else? Heaven forbid it's Florida, Tampa Bay.
I love San Jose.
All right.
Love that. And my kid, my daughter Blake, is like the biggest Celebrini fan. So I think for the time being, that's going to be, they're out of the conference. It's okay for us to cheer for them for a few years while they rebuild, hopefully.
So, I don't know if this is good to pin you down like this, but like when you say cut the head off talking about the Leafs, are you on board with a trade the best players sort of thing? Are we talking about maybe coaching?
Well, I think you need a real boss. I think Tree's proven that he's not that guy. He seems like a really nice guy, but like he's made too many mistakes in my mind. And I think he's too much associated with like the old guys. I think you need like a voice. I think you got to trade Willie. I've said that for a few years. He's super talented and probably has a ton of value, but like you can't build around a guy who is not going to back check and a guy who's not going to stand up for, like, it's just, I'll fill in the gaps where I can. I'll take Cowboy over him, who, is not going to score 40 goals or score 100 points, but he at least seems like he wants to be there. And and then I would check with Matthews, and if he's not into it, like, I'd trade him too.
This is why it's nice to have someone who's not in the hockey community on, because he'll tell you what he really thinks.
For sure.
Yeah, no, I say get rid of Domi, get rid of Yarncroke, get rid of
trading
everybody.
Start over.
Just blow it up, Sammy. Blow it up.
You're watching and listening to Kevin Zegers, Canadian actor, starring in the all-new The Madison on Paramount Plus. All right, I'm 3 episodes in. Like, your character, something's happening here. I can just feel it. Like, don't give away anything, but what can I expect out of your character moving forward here?
I mean, I think I actually think you were right. I think he's just there to help. I mean, we've shot a couple of seasons now. In true Taylor Sheridan fashion, he just decides, like, we're just going to keep making them before they come out. He's just like, yeah, I'm writing, and so we're going to go back and film more. But for the most part, though, he's just a really good guy. I mean, he's married. There's no like tension between him and Michelle, at least that is going to be sort of seen through as of now. I mean, I hope it does at some point. I'm going to have to wait until we go back and see what season 3 holds. But no, I mean, I don't think there's a ton of subtext. For now, he's just there to help her set up her life.
Awesome stuff. Congratulations on the series, and good luck with everything else. And if you get a chance, say hi to Michelle for me.
I will.
Prior to me getting married, I did have a little bit of a thing for her.
Okay, all right. That's allowed.
That's all.
Allowed? Yeah. I don't think your wife would mind that. I think most people's wives assume
that would pass as acceptable. Yes. I would agree.
All right, great stuff. Thanks for joining us, pal.
Thanks so much,
guys.
man. Appreciate the time.
Kevin Zegers.
Oh, he said something about Sam.
Cut him off.
I would say that Chad is agreeing with. Is like that's guys I play hockey with. Like that's what they say. That is exactly what they say.
Yeah.
Those words that he said. Just trade them all. Blow it up. That is a popular take. I'm saying, man.
Yeah. I think that's something.
Just not sure. Like they have any other choice
than that.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's hard to do that.
Rebuilds pick you. You don't pick them.
That's an interesting.
We have so much time to talk about Leafs tomorrow and for the rest of the season. What did you think of the 3-gamer for AJ Greer on Connor Zary?
I'm not surprised. If you're asking the league now, which there seems to be a hard push on ramping it up, okay, I'm okay with that. But there's been a consistency over the last few years, which would run into the 3 or 4 game range here. And if people have had enough of it and want it raised, it ain't coming from the media and it ain't coming from the fans. You know where it has to come from?
Gary.
No.
Oh.
Wrong. Players on the ice. If they decide they want it called tighter and harsher penalties, then just say so. Speak up.
I think the very popular thing for me to say is just it wasn't enough and I didn't like it, but I thought that was about right. I thought there was some distance between it's a bad hit, it's a suspension, I hate it. I've been on hits from behind this year, fighting you about it tooth and nail. They suspended him 3 games. I thought he deserved 3 games. I don't know. Make it 4. Okay.
Can I ask?
Just stop pointing it at the league too. Okay. It's not the league. It's the players. If they want it changed, they're the ones on the ice. Gary doesn't play. Okay. The owners don't play. If you guys feel that strongly, and we did hear from Connor McDavid a little earlier about maybe we should revisit it, but like, okay, so do it then. Call for it. Demand it. And you have a players association too that sits on the competition committee that controls a lot of this environment. Push for it then. Don't just let it die on the vine. It's you guys on the ice. So you decide.
Yeah.
And you know what the decision is probably? We're fine with it.
Can I ask you guys a question just in terms of the way they tweet out the in-person or phone or whatever? Like, can we just get rid of that so that they're all just, it's like a Zoom. It's just, if you're going to do it, so that immediately you put out this message and every reporter saying, oh, it's a phone hearing versus a in-person hearing. So that gives everybody this opportunity to be like, oh, the league, not going to give them enough. It's like this weird barrier that we, why does there have to be a determination between the phone and not the phone?
It's also
it's
funny.
Audio versus video. Like, it's like when I'm trying to book a guest and they can only do phone and Kipper's like, I'm not doing it. It's just, why do we need to do that?
But it's also like you would assume that suspensions fall into particular buckets. This one's 1 to 3, or this is 2 to 4.
Sure, yeah.
Presumably some are 4 to 6.
Yeah.
Or 3 to 7. So why?
I have no understanding.
Well,
just have a meeting.
Or you can just ask the player, what do you want to do? What do you want to do?
Flying
do you want to come
people
in or
in.
not come in?
In-person hearing, flying people in. It's like
But I think
time and money.
My point is,
do you want to come in or not?
My point is, why do they have, I mean, I have meetings, people have meetings, just do it on the Zoom regardless.
Well, I think
what's the difference between being there and not being
I don't know.
there?
Maybe it's the subtle message of we're taking this one really seriously now.
But there is a difference between being in person and being on Zoom. There just is.
I thought it should have been maybe 1 or 2 more, but I'm not going to.
Few confusing goal or no goal with goaltending interference. Lee Islander game.
We have a great walk.
My secret hockey thing is that everyone complains about goaltender interference, but I actually think I get it. And I'm always like, I get it. I understand that call. I feel like I have like a 90-some% hit rate on when they get it right and wrong. That Islanders one, and maybe I had my Islanders blue and orange goggles on.
Yeah.
Didn't get it at all. Anders Lee's got Olivier on his back because he's going to the net.
But he's going to the net hard.
He's going to the net hard, but you're allowed to go to the net hard. And if he has no chance
So
to
the
stop.
the three catch words now are push, shoved, or not fondled. Fouled.
Much more likely. He was fondled into the net.
Fouled.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And which one was he? Lee.
Well, I think you can take fouled or pushed if you want. He doesn't have the chance to not go into the net.
He went in hard, and he already had
breaking.
his own. He had his own momentum going to the net.
Listen to Patrick Waugh?
He's trying to stop.
Yeah.
Listen to Patrick Waugh.
And they don't touch the goalie.
Derek, can we play that Patrick Waugh clip quick before we go?
They said that Anders went on his own. Well, I guess I have a different opinion, but I mean, why is Olivier was so mad? Because he knew he pushed Anders in the net, and he put the puck himself in the net. And at first, it hit his stick before anyway. But hey, goalie interference, if you don't mind, can we change subject?
Derek, please save that as a drop.
Goalie interference, if you don't mind. Can we change
But
the
hey,
subject?
goalie interference.
So that's
if you
it.
don't
Now
mind,
you're around push, shoved, or fouled.
But we've had Elliott on here who's talking to the NHL and all that. They don't want to take goals off the board. You've got a goaltender who's then out of the blue paint. It's just.
But you don't want goalies run at too.
It's not goalie interference. It's just not. He's not interfering with the goaltender.
They're trying to protect the goalies too.
Kippy League office.
My God, this.
No, I'm not.
This is contrarian for contrarianism. That's not goalie interference.
I know what goalie interference is. I mean,
You've interfered with the goalie.
A few.
If you can't stop because another person's pushing you in, then it's not goalie interference. You didn't go in under your own volition.
All right.
Yeah. Give me the dub, folks.
You're going full Islanders Sammy on this one. It sounds like me talking about the Leafs.
Well, I'm right here.
You are. I'm wrong.
Our thanks to Jason Bukala, Pro Hockey Group, Kevin Zegers. The series is the Madison Catches Act. It's a good one. Thanks for watching, everybody. Have a great night.